Hello, everyone. My name is Paul. Welcome to Common Touch of Fantasy, and I'm talking about comic books today. It is Wednesday. I've decided to just make these videos instead of writing the blog posts. It's just as much work to make the videos as it is to write the blog posts, so might as well just make the videos, right? Okay, so today I went to the comic book store and got a few comics. The first thing I got was Giant Days. This is by Allison. Let's see the first name. John Allison, illustrated by Lisa Tremaine. And this is from Boonbox. I've heard quite a few booktubers that have read this. It's basically a story about three young girls going to university and starting university and becoming friends. Susan, Esther, and Daisy started at university 3 weeks ago and became friends fast. Now away from home for the first time, all three want to reinvent themselves. But in the face of hand-wringing boys, personal experimentation, influenza, mystery mode, chauvinism, and the willful, unwanted intrusion of academia, they may be lucky just to make it out this spring alive. Going off to university is always a time of change and growth, but for Esther, Susan, and Daisy, things are about to get a little weird. So, I'm looking forward to this. I was talking to the guy at the comic book store, and he was saying how this is maybe his third favorite comic right now. This is what the art looks like. And I've heard a lot of great things about this series, especially from Bree. I think her channel has stories from the shelf. So I'm really looking forward to reading this and seeing what I think of it. And because of college starting, everyone going back to school, I'll probably enjoy it because it'll make me reminisce about the days when I was in school. So I'm looking forward to reading that. I haven't read that yet. The comics I'm about to talk about, I actually have read. I read all of these today. We'll start with Green Arrow. This is number 6. Got a little bit of a glare, but that's alright. So the first arc of Green Arrow ended, and now we have this in-between arc that is basically all about Emiko, who is Oliver Queen's half-sister, and we're getting some of her backstory, and we're getting some information with her and her mother called Shadow, and it was just an okay issue. As you guys know, I've been loving Green Arrow, the Rebirth 2016 edition, but this one just seems like just filler content. A little bit interesting about her past and what she's doing now after the events that happened in the first arc. But I wasn't too impressed, so I gave this a 2 out of 5. And hopefully this won't be an entire new arc, because I don't really want to read about what's going on here for 6 issues. So yeah, hopefully it's just a one-off or a 2-off type thing. Kill or Be Killed. This is issue number 2. This is by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. Amazing. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I love this comic so far. The art style is fantastic. I love it. Especially these landscape scenes with the snow. This is a very dark, very heady, mature comic about this guy that has to kill people because he tried to commit suicide, but some demon saved him. But now he has to kill evil people in order to not die himself, and so he has to go and murder other awful people. And it's just a very plot driven and character driven. It's a lot of inner monologue with this character just kind of figuring out his situation, who he is in the world, and it's dark, it's depressing, and I really like it. I just really like the art, and the story is fantastic. It's written so extremely well, and it reads more like a novel than a comic. Very good. Also got Image First, I Hate Fairyland, the first issue. This is by Scott Young with Jean-Francois Boulier. And I gave this a 4. And this is so much fun. This girl gets trapped in this fairyland. She gets pulled into it. And at first, she was like excited, but then she got really scared. Like, she wants to go home. She's only 6. So she has this quest to get this key to go home. Well, almost 30 years later, she's still on this quest. And now she's like a 30-something-year-old woman inside a 6-year-old's body. And she's like super feisty and hilarious. This is so funny. I laughed out loud at least 3 times while reading this. And it was just a lot of fun. And I will definitely check out the first volume of it. A lot of fun. A lot of over-the-top cartoonish violence and gore. And I just think that's hilarious. The whole premise is funny. And then we have Superman issue 6. This is the last issue of the first arc of Superman. The end fight against Eradicator that has John, his son, and Lois, his husband, or her wife, sorry, helping him. And once again, Superman puts out an amazing comic with an amazing art. Gleason's art has been some of my favorite of all the Rebirth issues. It's just so vibrant and colorful, and I really enjoyed it. I would give this issue here a 3 in the first arc of Superman Rebirth, around a 3.5. I've loved the relationship between Clark Kent and his son John, and John figuring out what his powers do and who he is. And I also like the idea of Clark Kent, Lois, and John having this like nuclear family and trying to figure out how to deal with being super people and how John's growing up. The whole Eradicator thing, which is the enemy trying to kill John because he's like half human, half Kryptonian, was just okay. And kind of floundered a bit in the middle of the arc, but it has been good. I give it like a solid 3.5 for the entire arc, and I will be continuing with Superman. I am enjoying it. And then finally, the last thing I read was another Ed Brubaker. This is an Image First $1 issue for Velvet, and this was very cool. I gave this a 4. And what's really cool about this is that it deals with a woman that is older, and you don't see that very often in comics. And what's nice is it's a story set in the 70s, so you don't have a ton of like computers and whatnot, and it's like a spy thriller mystery, and so people have to figure things out, do their espionage person to person instead of like using cyber warfare and using computers and stuff like that. And she is this like really cool woman that can do all these things, but no one really knows about it. And she's just awesome. And she's probably, I would guess, in her late 40s or something. And they're trying to figure out who killed one of the agents. And so there's flashbacks of when that agent was still alive, and conversations with her and like the director of the department. And then she finds more people that are dead, and everyone's kind of set up and framed. and they're trying to figure out what's going on, and it's really cool. And I'm gonna have to get this. Velvet by Ed Brubaker. I am now a fan of Ed Brubaker. Now that I know he does like Velvet is what I like, and then he's doing the Kill or Be Killed, and he does the Fade Out, Criminal, and another graphic series. And he just seems like an amazing writer, and I need to check out more of his stuff. Everything has this very realistic, noirish mystery element to it that I just really like, and I think a lot of people would really enjoy his work. So those are the comics that I read today, and I had a lot of fun. I was really looking forward to comic book day today, because I didn't get any comics last week, and I was happy, and I'm looking forward to reading this first volume of Giant Days. Thanks for watching, guys. If you read comics and you got some comics today, let me know what you got. If you've read any of these and want to talk about it, put it in the comments. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Like if you liked the video, and comment if you want to talk about it. Thanks for watching. Please follow me on social media. Thanks.